Good morning, everyone. My name is Charlene Benucci, and I'm the director of the Community Outreach Program here at the Jewish Home Family. And I'm absolutely positively delighted to be the one to introduce one of my favorite people today, Avi Feld. We're filming this from the Jewish Home Assisted Living in Rivervale, New Jersey, which is part of our family, which includes the Jewish Home at Rockley, skilled care nursing home and rehab center, and the Jewish Home at Home, providing aids for loved ones living at home at this time. So one of the things we love to do is gear our programs to the season. And Avi has prepared a delicious, light, and lovely group of 3 different goodies for today. We hope you really enjoy our program. If you do, you can let us know. I want to welcome Avi Feld, our chef for the day. Thank you all.
Let me start over here. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Today, we're going to start off making blueberry lemon bundt cake, which is perfect for spring. We're also going to be making almond macaroons, followed by my favorite cocktail, an apple tea. So we're going to begin over here, right over here, building our blueberry lemon bundt cake. Okay, everybody, so this is a very simple cake to make. I was really impressed with how it came out. Really, all you need is 2 bowls. We need 1 big bowl and 1 medium size or smaller bowl. And we're going to start with mixing eggs, butter, sugar, water, and lemon zest. So first, we're going to whisk that. So I'm going to first put in 4 eggs. And then a cup of unsalted melted butter. I let the melted butter sit for about 15 minutes before putting it in with the eggs. Otherwise, you can get scrambled eggs, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that it's melted, but at room temperature. Next, a cup and a half of sugar. And if you want, you can use Splenda. You can use applesauce as a substitute. And half a cup of water. And lemon zest. I put in 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. It's perfect. Just put this on the side over here. Now we're just going to whisk it together. And you smell the lemon. It smells so great. Okay. I'm going to put this on the side for a moment. Next, with the smaller bowl, we're going to add 2 cups and 2/3 of a cup of flour, sifted flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to whisk it. Just incorporate everything. And then we're going to add 1/3 of this, a third of the dry mix to the wet mix. That looks good. Just a little spatula over here. Start with it. That's good. Sides over here. Around the edges. Good. Another third. coming together. It's definitely a heavy cake. It's a heavy cake that will probably make you heavy, but once in a while, I guess you can get away with making this. Okay, and the last. It's coming together beautifully. Get the flour on the edges. Scrape the sides. A lot of flour, so we're just gonna, once again, scrape the edges down. You don't want any pieces of flour in the cake. Okay, we're almost done with this. This is all incorporated. Okay. Okay, so you can see the consistency is very thick. It's a very heavy batter. In general, when you put fruit or you add, say, chocolate chips or something into a batter, usually it will sink to the bottom. But this batter is a very thick batter, so the blueberries really won't sink too much. We're gonna take a cup of blueberries. We're gonna pour it in, washed, and make sure they're dried. You don't want to have wet blueberries in the cake. And we're just gonna fold it in. Just fold it in. You don't want to mix too hard. You don't want to squish the blueberries. This is perfect for springtime. I guess it can't be that bad because it has fruit in it, right? But this is perfect. Excellent consistency. So like I said, it's a very thick batter, but it's a bun cake, so it has to be. Next, we're going to spray a bun pan. I have two bun pans here. This is the one I prefer. It's a 9-inch pan. If you want, we also have mini bun pan, which works really, really well to make cute individual bun pans. Cute individual bun desserts. We're just going to spray the pan, heavily spray. Even though they always say they're non-stick, I would definitely spray it. Okay, that looks good. And we're just gonna put the batter into the pan. The lemon zest adds so much flavor to this cake. I made it with it and without it because one of my friends doesn't like lemon, and it really changes the cake. It's not, it wouldn't be a blueberry lemon bun cake if you didn't have it, but it really adds a freshness to it. It's done with this. Just scrape the sides. Oh, that's perfect. And of course, the oven was preheated to 350. You want to bake this for about 40 to 50 minutes, depending on your oven. And that's it. So when you bake this, I would let, after you take it out of the oven, let it sit for about 15 minutes and then flip it over. And I would put every cake on a sheet pan just in case it overflows. This will definitely not, this is a heavy cake. It's not going to overflow, but just in case, always put it on a sheet pan, and I think it works out pretty well. Now over here, we have some of the finished products. Now the recipe only calls for powdered sugar on the bun cake. However, one of our residents' families suggested that we do a blueberry glaze. I'm not a big fan of icing, but I took her advice and it came out beautifully. The cake really just pops. It's perfect for spring. You can see there's pieces of blueberry on top of the blueberry glaze, and there's also lemon zest. If you want that recipe, feel free to email us for the blueberry glaze. It's a very simple recipe, I'll tell you right now. It's a third of a cup of fresh blueberries, and it's the juice of 1 lemon and a cup and a quarter of a cup of powdered sugar. It's really easy. All you do is you take the blueberries and lemon juice and you muddle it together. Then once you strain it, you want to just make sure you have the juice. You want the pieces of the blueberry. You add the powdered sugar and you mix it to make sure it's the right consistency. You may have to add a little bit more powdered sugar, and you just put it on the cake. But make sure when you put the icing on the cake, you make sure that the cake is cooled at room temperature. You don't want to glaze a hot cake because it will look like a hot mess. Okay, so I just think it looks really cute. These are the mini bundt pans, the mini bundt cakes from the bundt pan. You can see they're individual, they're portion control. I just think it looks really pretty. It looks very elegant. I put a little powdered sugar on top. I know it's a lot of sugar, but I think it works. I think it looks really pretty. You don't need that much powdered sugar on top of the icing, plus there's sugar in the cake itself. So here you have it. So now we're going to move on to the almond macaroons. Now I love almond macaroons. Passover just passed, and of course there's macaroons galore. But this is a different recipe. I got this recipe from one of the cooks in our kitchen, and it uses condensed milk, and it's a little different than a regular macaron that I've ever had. But I really, really like it. And what I love most about it is that you only need 1 bowl. So you have 1 bowl, less cleanup. For me, it's perfect. So we have our oven is already full, but in general, you would preheat the oven to 325, and you need 1 large bowl. And we're going to mix everything together. You don't need a whole bunch of bowls, so you just need 1 bowl and put everything together. So first, you need 1 14-ounce package of sweetened coconut milk, shredded coconut. There's unsweetened and there's sweetened. Use the sweetened one. Just break it up a little bit. Next, this is what makes the macaroon. We're going to be using sweetened condensed milk, 1 can, 1 14-ounce can. Okay, that's good. Next, we're going to be using slivered almonds. You can chop them. I don't like them too chopped, so I really just use them slivered right out of the bag, and they're toasted. I'm just going to add that in. 1/4 of a cup of almonds. If you want to chop them, you can, but I don't think there's a need for it. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of almond extract. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Make sure, like I always say, you use pure vanilla, no imitation. Excellent, that's perfect. And that's it, that's really all you need. We're just gonna mix them together. Just incorporate it a little bit, then I'm gonna mix it with my hands. You know what, we're getting a few more minutes. And you can see it's the condensed milk acts as the glue. I'm just gonna mix this a little bit with my hands. Oh, it's perfect. Now, all we're going to be doing is taking a little ice cream scooper. This is about 2 ounces. And we're going to be making the macaroon. Make sure you have a sheet pan with parchment paper. And I think it looks like a very impressive dessert. People always get impressed with the macaroons. They're so, they just seem to be very impressed impressed with it, but I'm impressed with how easy it is to make it. And once you see people's reactions, you want to make it year after year. This is perfect for spring. And you want to make sure, the reason why I use an ice cream scooper is because if you try to roll it by hand, sometimes you have pieces that stand up and you have to be careful because that can cook very fast and it'll burn the macaroon. So you really kind of want to use an ice cream scooper and just press down. I don't think you need anything bigger than this size. And if they're going to spread on the bottom, when you bake them, the condensed milk will kind of caramelize on the bottom. So it'll taste really delicious, but you just want to watch the oven. You want to make sure that it doesn't really over bake. I'll do the last one over here. Just to show you, get the idea. Okay. And what I like to do is the recipe can call for it, but I've made these before, so this always works. Make sure you have almonds, raw almonds, whole. We're going to stick them in the middle. Press down. You see, it looks really pretty. And they're uniform, so they look professional. And that's all you have to do. So when you bake them for about 16 to 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. I usually check after the 15-minute mark, I check every minute or so because it really does bake pretty quickly. You can see over here, we have a finished product. These are just plain almond macaroons, coconut almond macaroons. But if you want to step it up a notch, do a chocolate drizzle macaroon over here. This is so easy to do. All you do is you can either use it, but melt the chocolate with a double boiler. That's like a glass bowl on top of a pot of water. Make sure that the water doesn't touch the bowl. And you just kind of steam. You melt the chocolate by steam. Or if you want, you could just put the chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips, in a bowl, and you can microwave it and check every 30 seconds and stir it to make sure it's the right consistency and that the chocolate doesn't burn. Once the macaroons come out of the oven, let it cool for about 15-20 minutes, and then you can place them on a cooling rack, and then take the chocolate drizzle with a spoon and just do zigzags on it. That's all it is, but it looks really, really pretty, and you can make, I think, a lot of things look nice, but just kind of going the extra step. So it's a homemade dessert, and it's really not that complicated. 5 ingredients, 6th one if you want to include the chocolate drizzle. Okay, next we're going to move on to our favorite part of the program, the cocktail. Okay, so this is where we're going to be making an apple teeny. So you need a shaker, and we're just really going to mix everything together. This is really such a simple cocktail to make. So we're going to have 1 ounce of apple juice. I already have apple juice over here. So we're just going to add the apple juice. Next, we're going to need 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. I would say about half a lemon, maybe a little bit more. That's good. And you want to make sure you use real lemon. Don't save time in using bottled lemon juice. It's completely different. And we don't want to insult our guests, right? We want them to make sure they have the best experience possible. Next, we're going to use green apple schnapps. So 1 full ounce and 1/4 ounce of green apple schnapps. And this is sour, but it works. There's some green apple schnapps that are they're not sour, but this is a sour one, but it works perfectly for this. Next, we're going to add 1.5 ounces of vodka. So I'm doubling everything. So it may seem like a lot more, but just follow my directions. I'm making it for me and the crew over here. Okay. 1 more. It looks like a lot. That's why it's for 2. Excellent. And then you need ice. So just put in a little ice. It's perfect. Make sure you have the shaker. Make sure you have the cap on the shaker. You all made that mistake. I'm just gonna shake it for a little bit. Okay. Here we go. This is a delicious spring drink or summer drink or anytime drink for that matter. An apple teeny. You can garnish it a little bit more over here. Perfect. You can garnish it with an apple. For a green apple, the colors work together. Make sure that when you use any apple for garnish, you soak it in lemon juice. And I always try to garnish the fruit. I put the garnish on the glasses first. You can try it afterwards, but trust me, it works out so much better by just putting the garnish on first, especially if you know in advance you'll be making the apple teenies. I want to thank everybody for coming. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I'm watching you make this drink and it's only 1 ounce of apple juice to all that liquor.
Well, I doubled the recipe because I was making the cocktails for 2.
Okay.
So it was actually 2 ounces of that I put in, it was 2 ounces of
Oh,
apple
you
juice.
did.
But if you want to make it for, if you want to make 1 drink, which who wants to make just 1 drink?
Yeah.
You can use 1 ounce of apple juice, but I just doubled everything just so I can fill up 2 glasses.
Obviously, I'm interested in this, so I'm asking this
Oh, no,
question. So yes,
absolutely.
thank you so much.
No, not at all. So I think all these, I think these desserts work together. We have a blueberry lemon bundt cake that just looks beautiful. I think if you look at I'll take a plate over here. If you take a look, the blue and the green together, you can see it will look beautiful on a table, beautiful on a dinner table or at a cocktail hour. So I just want to wish everyone an enjoyable day. Feel free to reach out to me anytime if you have any questions regarding any of the recipes that you see today, and tune in next time. Have a great day.